Well, hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine, and the worst of the weather that we've had with the morning round has moved off to the east, but we're still getting some pretty heavy rain in spots. And you might have heard your phone just buzzing. We have had another warning put out, a flash flood warning. I'll go ahead and pop that on up and then show you what we're looking at here. We've seen a lot of these here this morning. Sorry about that. Kicked something over and had to fix it real quick. All right, so what we're looking at right here is a flash flood warning. It is for Mobile. We just have this thin line of rain that's basically working its way over and over again in the same spot. You'll see that here on the high resolution radar. You can see this rain, and it's going over and over the same spot. And what I'll do, let's see if I can loop it a little bit, see if I can get the looping radar up here so you can see what I mean. All right, so here it is, the rain just going over and over the same spot. So that is just creating some issues with some road flooding and that sort of thing, ponding in the roads. It's a very narrow strip of rain, but it's enough to cause some issues because it just keeps going over the same spot over and over again. So not everybody's getting in on this stuff, but where it's at, it's still raining pretty heavily. The nastiest storm is actually moving out of our viewing area. This is the one that's in Okaloosa County, moving over into Walton County. This has been a severe warm storm, but that one is moving out. So the strongest storm is moving out of the area, which is good to say. Now, we're going to have some more storms this afternoon. It certainly looks that way. Now, I say that, but the radar trends and the modeling are starting to kind of pull back a little bit on the worst of this. I think if we're going to get some severe stuff later, it's probably going to be more isolated. So I'll show you that here with the Futurecast. So obviously we're dealing with the rain right now. If I can get this to go into motion, there it goes. Here's 1 o'clock, still showing some showers and storms around. And then here's the second line. This is the one we're talking about for this afternoon, trying to get going. It does show some storms in there, but it also shows it being fairly weak, and I hope that's the case. But every once in a while you'll see a little flare of pink in some of these. So we're going to have to watch out for an isolated chance of severe weather this afternoon with a few more storms. So we're just not done with this. In other words, we're going to have to keep an eye on things as we go through the afternoon and continue to watch these storms. We're going to continue to have the possibility of some issues. Once again, right now, heavy rain in this very thin line. I mean, it's about 5 miles wide, but it's going over the same spot over and over again, and that's what's creating some issues. I mean, I look around other areas, you can see. Let me move this up here around Stapleton. You're getting some heavy rain right between Stapleton and Bay Minette. So, I mean, you can drive from Stapleton where it's not raining, go through this heavy rain band, and get to Bay Minette, and it's not raining again. It's not very wide. And once again, it just seems to be going over the same spots, causing flooding issues. So that's what we're dealing with out there right now. We're going to be dealing with some more off and on showers and storms throughout the afternoon. I'm waiting for an update as well from the Storm Prediction Center. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. All right, so this is our risk zones, right? So we've had this morning round to go through. Like I said, it's exiting the area right now. And they've trimmed this brown area, that's level 3. They've trimmed it back a little bit, but not completely. And 11:30 we'll be getting an update. So I'll be curious to see if they take this off or not. And the reason why is because they're going to be looking at that afternoon round, seeing if there's a possibilities of severe weather there. Right now, to me, it looks like it's going to be fairly isolated. If it's going to be fairly isolated, they might drop this level 3 completely. We'll have to wait and see, or they may move it further off over to the east, at least out of our area. So we'll be waiting to see on that. I don't think they'll drop off the slider, the marginal risk, just because, once again, there is going to be some risk of severe weather out there. Notice somebody saying the sun is shining. Pritchard. Actually, sun shining is not a good thing because any heating that gets through will bubble up these afternoon storms better. So we'd be better off to continue with some lighter rain and some clouds than just have the sun start peeking through as of yet. We want to get through this round of storms this afternoon. So the good news is tomorrow is going to be beautiful. Your Sunday is going to be great, and it'll be looking really nice by Sunday, so no worries there. Once again, let me get that back up here. We do have your phone. The reason I went and came on here on the Facebook here is because I know for a lot of folks, your phones just started doing that, that buzzing thing, because we just had a flash flood warning popped here for the majority of Mobile. So a lot of phones went off when that happened. And the reason for it, once again, is that thin line of rain. It's just a few miles wide, but the thing is, it's going over and over and over the same spots. Here we are, I'm looking out my window here at McGowan Park. And so we're right here at the station. I'm looking out my window, it's blowing around a lot. There's some light rain, but there's no heavy rain here. But I know my wife's up at Sage Park where they're getting poured on while they're playing some soccer, which is, right here. So, I mean, just the difference here of a couple of miles is it's quite intense. So there it is. Got this just stream of rain across Midtown, Spring Hill, going back towards down Old Shell Road, down to south. But then you go, down into, west parts of West Mobile. They're not seeing any rain at the moment, or even they're just light rain. Tillman's Corner is completely out of it. And then you go over to Dawes here, and you can see the heavy rain there off to the western part of the county, down Leroy Stevens. So it just kind of depends on where you're at, because once again, this strip of rain is moving over and over the same spot. And I know we've had some issues today. We've had some damage from these storms earlier. We've had a number of trees down. That's unfortunately taken down a number of power lines. So we know several thousand people in our area have been without power since this morning. So that's been an issue too that we've had to deal with here today. Once again, the heaviest storm is moving out of our viewing areas. So that's good news. But we really are going to be watching some of these other ones to see as the afternoon comes along and we get a little bit of the warming of the day, that if we don't see any more of these fire up. Once again, I'll show you what that looks like on the Futurecast. And the high resolution Futurecast takes into account what it's seeing currently on the radar. These are run every hour, brand new one every hour. So gives us kind of the latest possibilities. And it still shows a few storms around at 1. And then here around 2 and 3 o'clock is the secondary line we were talking about, with the possibilities there of some scattered to isolated severe weather or stronger storms. So not a solid line, more scattered, more isolated, but we're going to have to keep an eye on it because the fuel will be there in the atmosphere for a few more strong storms. Once again, I don't think it'll be a widespread issue that we'll deal with later today, but a couple of them that get strong could cause some issues. So that's what we're going to be watching out for, and we'll continue to watch that for you throughout the afternoon. I'll be here riding along with you. Like I said, we should be getting an update soon. Actually, it's almost 11:30. I wonder if it'll come right on through. So this is what I'm waiting on for an update. The Storm Prediction Center has this area, basically most of our area is east of 65 in a level 3 enhanced risk zone. And I'll be waiting to see if they're going to be trimming this back a little bit, maybe moving it farther off to the east, because that'll tell us a lot about what the Storm Prediction Center is thinking about the afternoon round of storms, how likely it is. I haven't updated that just yet, so we're still waiting on that from the Storm Prediction Center. For now, I'm going to put up the radar back for you so you can, if you're checking in right now, it's probably the main thing that you are interested in. So let me get my big mug out of the way and show you that. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. That's the main thing we're looking at right now is this thin line of rain, but boy, it's heavy. It is heavy here for us. All right, I'm checking out the Storm Prediction Center. They're going to leave it as is. All right, so I was waiting to see if the Storm Prediction Center would update their risk zones here for us this afternoon. They haven't done so yet, so I'll have to kind of just wait on that. But anyhow, we'll keep watching this for you. It doesn't, boy, it is so dark here at the station because we're right on the edge of that heavy rain. And I can see more lightning beginning to build in this part of it. So as this creeps northward, it's going to find some better conditions to grow into a stronger storm. So this is going to kind of work its way just south of that, more likely than over Bruton at some point. So there will be some more heavy rain and thunderstorms around. The big thing is, what are we going to get this afternoon? How many of these storms will sort of bubble up? That's kind of yet to be determined. Once again, I think it'll be kind of isolated, possibly scattered. But the possibilities are there later on this afternoon, probably within about 2 to 3 hours of starting to see some more storms bubbling up on a secondary line. We'll keep updating you, letting you know what's happening. And, of course, if anything breaks or anything new happens, we'll let you know. For now, have yourselves a good afternoon. We will be catching up with you soon. Bye now.